many of you have heard about Radio Sai? Okay, most, right? In the year 2001, Swami blessed us with this amazing opportunity to have him at our very fingertips. One name that is ever present always is in the form of Brother Bishu Prusty. Brother Bishu has been serving him at his holy abode in Radio Sai for the last 14 years. Prashanti chronicles my moments with Ganesha on Sai Gayatri Mantra, so many interviews, bhajans in the Prashanti Mandir bhajan group, you name it. Brother Bishu is one of the most entrusted and chosen souls by Swami himself. In my first and only interaction so far with him, he has reminded me of those little steps that we can take in order to grow closer to Swami. Now, as Swami always mentions, you take one step towards me, I'm going to take 100 steps towards you. Dear brothers and sisters, Brother Bishu is going to give us 3 steps to become a Sai youth. Imagine, with this one talk, we're going to go 300 steps closer to him. So let's welcome Brother Bishu Prusty.
I'm looking for the clock so that I don't cross the time. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Offering myself at Bhagwan's lotus feet and Sairam to all of you. It's really heartening to be here. I was here probably a year back sharing the story of Sai Gita in Sai Gitanjali. That was such a unique privilege. Sai Gita's anniversary is in this month, May. And if you read her story, it really leaves you completely in awe, because here was someone who was not even a human being. You heard the story of someone who, with a disability, even though had the blessing of being born as a human being, could achieve such fantastic feats. And that is the story of someone who, not even having a human frame, was able to go to a level where perhaps very few men have reached. What I really feel very happy about when I see all of you, very heartening moment, because as I was driving past and coming to this place, you see so many youngsters busy in their own way in this Sunday, and you chose to be here. You chose that this is important for me. You said that God is priority 1 for me. You said that I will make God priority 1 in my life. And I think that is a first step to walking on this path. Because if we make God priority one in our lives, then you will see how you become priority one for God in His scheme of things. You are always priority one for God. It's just that you never realize it. But once you consciously make God priority one in your life, you begin to see how you actually are priority one, and you begin to experience the power of being priority one for God. And then actually life becomes very magical. It becomes, every day is just filled with really pleasant surprises. So I think that is the first step. But today, I did not want to give a talk. When Brother Vishwas came and mentioned about this, and he mentioned there are so many youth coming, so I said, instead of me sharing my thoughts and my experiences, I would really love it to be an interaction session. Let it be a session where whatever is bothering each one of us, let's deal with those issues, instead of me sharing my memorable moments. Of course, probably those also will help. So, Brother Nikhil and Vishwas, they did this exercise for me. They collected questions from youth, I don't know, from you or whomever, but they collected questions from Sai Youth, and they compiled those questions and they have given it to me. So, today, I'm going to spend my time only looking at those questions and see how we can deal with these often irritating things that come in our lives. So I'm going serially. So the first question they had put was, why we see indifference behavior among Sai devotees? Even among Sai devotees, why do we see this kind of behavior? Many Sai devotees who seem to be ardent followers of Bhagwan for years, why do they also have ego? Why do they have favoritism? Why do they have regionalism? Why is it that, we come to Sathya Seva organization and the uncles and aunties here also don't behave differently from the uncles and aunties anywhere else? Or brothers and sisters. Yeah. So, let me tell you 3 stories. So 1968, there was this massive cyclone that had happened in Orissa, and the Sathya Sai organization, devotees, they wanted to do their bit, so they collected resources, food, medicine, etc., and they started going into interior areas. So they came to a point where, at one point, they were not able to go further, because the whole area was filled with water. You could not see a pathway. You really needed someone to guide you to go forward. So they were really looking for help. They had all the relief material. You needed boats, you needed assistance. So someone helped, and somehow they reached to one place which was isolated, and people there were really looking for support. They were really looking for succor. And once they went there with all this material, people just went crazy, because probably they were hungry for days, probably, they were going through so much trauma, they had no patience to even listen to what these people had got. They grabbed these, this food, this clothes. There's no order. It was absolute chaos on the side. Devotees, they didn't know how to handle the situation, because people are just taking stuff, they wanted to distribute properly. So that was not happening, and now they thought, we can't manage this. This is becoming like absolute chaos. Swami would not want us to, do our service in this manner. So they were thinking, should we go back? We can't manage this. So at that point, suddenly something interesting happened. A little girl, 12 years old, she came up, and she sort of took a leadership position. She was from that same crowd. So she said, don't worry all of you. I will guide you to the place where there are people who could not even come here. So there are some places where, there are marooned people. I will take you there. And then she told all this other group, because she belonged to that same group, told all of you, none of you are going to move here. I will tell who will come. I am going to direct these people. None of you are going to go to them. So she sort of just took charge of the whole situation. She was just barely 12, 14 years old. She took charge and she brought semblance to the whole environment. The distribution happened, so she said, okay, who are the sick people? So first let's give the medicines. Next come the children, so let's give the biscuits next to the children. Next come the women, so let's give the clothes to the women. Next came the food, so let's give the... So she brought so much of discipline, and after that the whole distribution was over, and they were just sitting, relaxing. And so this girl also came, and the Sevadal brothers and sisters said, why don't you also have something? And she said, no, actually, there are still some people who need to be served, so I'll finish that duty first, My guru says that first you should think about the others. First I'll finish serving and then I will come. I said, oh wow. I mean, listening all that from someone in a remote marooned place in Orissa, 12-year-old, and so this devotees asked, so who is your guru? He said, no, actually, I have not seen him, but I go to this class and there they tell me very nice things. Which class is this? No, it is called Balvika's class. And she brought out a photograph and she said, this is how he looks. They say he is Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. I don't know, but he tells very nice things. And I like to follow. So the brothers and sisters there thought we have to really redefine what is service. We have to redefine what is duty. We were at a point, we were thinking, we can't manage this crowd here. Let's just go and do it in a place where people are more orderly and more disciplined. And here was someone who told them what it is to be if your guru is Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Let me go to the second story. We just had our elections. All of us have our beautiful marks to show that we are interested in India's democracy. We have not yet lost hope. And so there was this young doctor in Mumbai who was posted on this election duty, and a lot of people do it with so grudging manner, and all government puts all these people into this election duty. You have to go and sit in some booth, you have to do this marking, you have to collect these papers, you have to, all this work that none of the people in the government like it, but you have to do it, you have no choice. So that's what was happening. The people from Dharavi slum, the famous Dharavi slum, were coming for voting. So this young doctor who was doing medical research in Nagar hospital in Mumbai, she had this job of putting this ink on everyone after they finished the voting. So as she was doing that, she noticed something very interesting actually. She was so focused on what she was doing. As she put every ink, and most of the ladies were coming to her, so she saw that the fingertips of most of these hands, they were not pink, they were white. I said, how can it be? These ladies, it should be pink for them. How is it white? Which means, they have low on hemoglobin. And what will happen to these ladies once they get pregnant? They will have malnourished. From malnourished bodies, if you have a kid, the kid will have so many problems. And she was just waiting for the election to get over. She went back to that slum. She examined each and every lady, each and every woman, especially pregnant woman of that slum. And she did a health profile, and she found out 70% of the women in that slum, they had less than 10 grams of hemoglobin, and this was alarming. She had sleepless nights. She said, I have to do something about it. And she started a program to improve the nutrition levels of these women. She said, next time a woman from this slum becomes pregnant, she will give birth to a child that is healthy. She made it her life's mission, and in a matter of few months, she started this awareness campaign, and the malnutrition level, which was at 70% in that slum, came down in just 4-5 months to 10%. The third story. There was this gentleman who was part of the Venkatagiri family. In those days, Swami used to go to Venkatagiri very often. From 1950 to 1970, Swami went every year to Venkatagiri, and in fact, it was the Venkatagiri family who were responsible for the conduct of all the major festivals in Prashantilam in those days. The Raja used to come. The Raja was so devoted to Bhagwan, so the Raja would come with all his people and facilities and resources, and that is how Prashanti Nilayam festivals used to acquire that grandeur. So there was one very devoted servant of the Raja, and he also became very devoted to Bhagwan. And so he, after a while, became so devoted to Bhagwan that he decided to stay in Prashanti Nilayam and serve in the ashram. So Swami gave him a lot of responsibilities. He was in charge of the canteen, South Indian canteen in those days. We are talking about 60s. And he was in charge of multifarious things. Of course, the ashram was very little then, but there were, 4 or 5 these key people in the ashram who used to look after many of these responsibilities. But he was someone whom everyone in the ashram was terrified of. I think if you ask our parents, and they would narrate stories of how on one occasion they went to the ashram and someone howled at them, or they were not treated nicely. We had those moments in the early years. You had all these people who you felt, how come ashram is supposed to be a heaven of love? How can this person talk to me like this? So he was someone who sort of was an epitome of that. So people were really dreadful to actually face him. So if you went to the South Indian canteen, you will not come out of the canteen without being reprimanded by him for something or the other. And he had a very loud voice. The moment he speaks, and you shiver actually. It was that kind of a personality. But he had great love for Swami, did phenomenal work for Bhagwan. I mean, very few people have done the kind of day and night. He has not married also. He just dedicated his life completely, and he did phenomenal work for Bhagwan. So it came to a time during his fag end of his life, suddenly he felt very sick. He felt so sick that it was pitiable. No one there to look after him. He was alone in that room. No one to help him with the basic things. He was not unable to move, unable to go to the washroom. Whole area was dirty. It was very, very pathetic. And, he used to feel, what is this that has happened to me here? I served Swami for so many years, and this is what, I have to face in the time of my life when I should be taken care of. So when he was going through that very difficult phase, one day Swami himself went to East Prashanti. He was staying in East Prashanti. Swami himself went there, and Swami sat with him, Swami pacified him, Swami showered a lot of love with him. And then he took that courage to ask, Swami, I have served you for so many years, Swami. Why am I going through all this? Why I'm not even feeling like I'm a human being. And Swami said, see, because you served me all these years with so much of dedication, with so much of commitment, that is the reason why today I have come to see you. I have on my own come, and I am there. I am still looking after you. But at the same time, when you are serving, what you did not keep in mind is how to serve. So that also reaction is there, no? Because you served, I have come. But because of how you served, you are going through what you are going through. If you look at these three stories, you can place them in three very important maxims of Bhagavan, which concerns duty. Any guesses? If you take all these three stories, there is something that Bhagavan has mentioned repeatedly about duty, and that seamlessly falls into place. Yeah? Yeah. He says discipline. Yeah? Love? Yeah, love without duty. Duty without love is deplorable. Okay, that is one. Love all, serve all. Sorry?
Duty without love is deplorable. Duty with love is desirable. Love without duty is...
So that is what it is. The last story was duty without love. Deplorable. You might do. How you're doing it? It's all going in the waste actually. It's all just going into the drain. I am coming every day for Nagar Sankirtan. I am doing this Seva. I have sung bhajan today. I have done this Seva. I was the one actually who started this youth program. Okay, great, fantastic. Duty without love is deplorable. Duty with love is desirable. At the basic, desirable. And that is what this lady, doctor from Mumbai did. She had a duty to do. She didn't feel every day, what the hell, yeah, why every time this election, first of all, why election happens? Yeah, it ruins my 3 days. It'll go back to India's democracy. Indian democracy only should not have been there. It'll go to somewhere it'll go out. But just because, you're sitting there and you have put this ink, your whole mind gets blanked out. I could have done this, this whole country is, what's the point of elections? Why I have to put all, she didn't think about all that. She sat there, she was given a job. She said, okay, fine. Yesterday I was coding. Day before yesterday, I was checking who has a heart problem. Today, if I have to put ink, fine, yeah, I'll do it. But I will do it with the same love. If I'm checking a patient as a doctor, I do it, I feel pride, yeah, I'm a doctor and I want to do a great job and, I do it well, very nice. But today, if I'm also putting, then, oh, this is not my job, man, just do something and get out of it. She didn't feel like that. She felt, no, if this job I have got, let me also do it with love, yeah. This is also a job that has come my way. Whatever I do, I will do it with love. Because I don't know how to do anything without love. So because she took that approach, that is, if you look at her, I have not traced her, but definitely if you trace her journey, the amount of fulfillment she would have received in life after doing that, the amount of joy. Can you just imagine her joy? She would have gone to the slum now and she's seeing that, so many women, those children who would have been born as deficient children. Now, thanks to that attention she paid just while putting the dot, now that slum has children who are healthy. How much of joy? Can anything compare to that joy? Can seeing a movie, can rest of ice creams, death by chocolate, whatever, can give you that kind of a joy. So, and the first story of the little girl where people had come to serve her. People had come, there was no need for her to step out and, organize and try and do whatever she did to bring semblance, bring discipline and see that, everything happened. But it was not her job to do that, but it was love without duty. I didn't have to do it, but I will do it. I will do it because so many people will be benefited. So many of my brothers and sisters, they are all suffering there. I will step out and I will do it. So that is love without duty. You go beyond the call of duty, then it becomes divine. And that is the reason why, all these people felt that, oh my God, she's, when you saw her, you felt it is Swami who has come and who was guiding us and who was teaching us a lesson, isn't it? You sit there and you are coming out and this little girl comes and teaches you that lesson. Those are your moments of revelation where God just parts the curtain and lets you know that I am there. You don't have to come to Prashanthi Nilayam to see me. You don't have to come to Sai Gitanjali to see me. If you can open your eyes, you can see me. So love without duty is divine. So, coming back to the question, well, I cannot comment on why a particular person is behaving in a particular way, but I think this is something that each one of us have to think. If each one of us serving in the ashram, be it a youngster, be it a senior person, whatever I am doing, how I am doing, am I doing it with love? If you ask that question, am I doing it so that there are more people happy with that one decision of mine, then I think such responses will not happen. Then nobody will feel that you are trying to do something which is full of ego or which is full of regionalism or favoritism. Does that answer? Because I think in the end, God, in the ultimate analysis, He's not going to ask us what car we drove. He will be interested to know how many people we uplifted by giving them a little lift in our car when someone needed. God is not going to ask how big was your house. He's going to ask when someone needed, how big was your heart to accommodate someone in your house. No, it's private, man, it's private. Don't come into my private space. He's not interested in how quick were your promotions and how fantastic were your promotions. He will be interested to know how many people you were able to promote. God will not be interested in knowing in which neighborhood you lived. He would be interested to know how good you were to your neighbors. God will not be interested to know what kind of clothes you wore, what kind of choice of clothes, what kind of taste you have in choosing your clothes. He'll be more interested in knowing how many people you were able to clothe. God will not be interested in knowing how many friends you have. There are people, who have 500 friends on Facebook, 1,000 friends on Facebook, 500 on Instagram. Got it, man. But certainly when you are in pain, not able to find even one friend whom you can actually go and pour out and who will really honestly listen to you and really selflessly stand up for you. Very difficult to find. So God is not interested in how many friends you have. God will be more interested in to how many people you were a friend. God will not be interested in the color of our skin. He only created all the colors. He's perfectly okay with it. He wanted it like that. He wanted that beauty and that variety. He will be interested in what is the content of your character. How you look at those colors. Do you look at those colors as beauty or do you distinguish those colors? God will not be interested in what was your final job title. God will be interested in how much you compromised on your integrity to achieve there. How much you compromised on your principles to stand on that pedestal. You don't know when it will fall. We have seen media moguls, we have seen people who were icons just 6 months ago, icons of industry, icons of how an entrepreneur should be, and today you just find that everything is in doldrums. Somewhere they slipped. So God is only interested in how protected you are with all that you call as your principles. Let me go to the next question. Many times we are guided to accept calamities, personal loss as our fate. How do we know it is indeed fate and not a random occurrence? Many times things happen and we say that is our fate. And you feel, is it really my fate or is it just a random thing here? I mean, is it that accident happened? Was it really my fate or it just happened? I mean, just a random thing. Sometimes things just happen. My personal take on this is there's nothing that is random in this universe. Absolutely, it all seems to a unwise, a naive mind, it might seem that everything is so chaotic. Like, for example, September 11 happened. So you think September 11 happened or December 26th happened. You really, it's a random occurrence, man. Suddenly, so many people just died. Was it all fate? Suddenly, like 100 people just lost their life in 2-3 seconds. But at the same time, you hear stories of someone is saying, you know what, that day I was just going to that lift and suddenly my wife called and I had to take that urgent call. So I came up and just that, thank God I missed that lift, man. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have been alive today. That morning I was going and my daughter of all days, every day she'll be so disciplined. But that day, for some reason, she poured that coffee on my shirt here. She had to do it that day only. And because I got half an hour late, thank God, it's only because of her only I'm living today. So when these things happen, then we feel, no, it's not random, yeah. It is really God, God is saving. He's really looking after. That time we feel, no, nothing is random in this universe. Then suddenly something else happens. No, it's not random. How can this happen to me? It's something. It can't happen to me. It's a random thing. I personally believe that everything that we experience in life, and everything means absolutely everything. If you're listening to me, it's your karma to listen to me today, and it's my karma to come and give this talk. That's it. Nothing is random. Probably there were more people who wanted to come, they could not come, and when some you did not want to come and you are here, whether you like it or not, that is your karma, and that is not a random thing. That is not a random thing. Nothing is random. Everything has a purpose. It's just that we have to become more aware. You have to constantly have that outlook. Because, what most of the time happens is whenever something happens, we start blaming on someone, and that is when, hatred happens. That's when a lot of negative feelings happen. Something happened in the office. For example. So, I was supposed to go to Delhi. Recently I had done a book. So I was supposed to go to Delhi for a book launch event. And I told my boss, I want to go for this. And he said, no, you're not going. There's a lot of work and this and that. You're not going. I said, okay, fine. I let 2 days go. Then again in some other conversation, I said, you know what, I was just thinking about it. It's the first time I'm doing a thing like that. I said, no, you're not going. said, okay. Just 1 day or 2 days were left, and there's something else. Again, in some conversation, he said, you know what, if I go to Delhi, actually I was thinking of doing this thing also, and then, just a 1 day thing. Bishu, I think you should go. Go. Have a mega event, just do it. Just rock it and come. I don't know what happened. See, if I would have taken that position that, this boss, how can he be so heartless, man? How can he be so mean? I've done a book. Does he really have an idea how much time it takes to write a book? It's a 250 pages book. I've toiled for it for 1 year to do this, and he just has, in 2 seconds he can tell me, just don't go. Does he really have any idea? I can fill myself with all sorts of negativity. I'll just think, I will see, man, how his work gets done. I will see. Because the ice log, he goes and shows all these reports. I will make it life difficult for him. Let me see how he becomes the boss that he parades himself to be. You can have so many negative feelings. But I felt, okay, fine. If this is happening, then this is Swami's will. Maybe Swami doesn't want me to go. That is fine. It's okay. Okay, Swami. If that gives you happiness, so be it. So, see, when something wrong happens to us, and we blame others for whatever has happened to us, then they say, we are a very long way in our journey of life. Very, very long way we have. If something happens to us, and we blame ourselves for whatever has happened, then they say, you are halfway there in your journey of life. When something happens to you and you blame no one, don't blame anyone, then you have arrived in life. And I find this to be such a beautiful mantra, because once anything happens to us, the moment we put the blame on someone, that is when all negativity starts. Now I don't put the blame on anyone. If, for example, today I was coming and suddenly Vishwas would have called me at 10:30, I have already started for this, and he would have told, brother, actually, you know what, this slight change in the program. Actually, there's Shrikant sir who was speaking, he could not come, so he's coming at 11:45, so your program is getting postponed to 4 o'clock. And I would say that, 4 o'clock, actually I have Samarpan today, I cannot come. Oh, I'm sorry, brother, maybe some other time. If he had told. So I can feel, what nonsense is this, man? I came all the way from Parthi. From 1 month ago, you tell me you come, 11:45 is your time and everything. And suddenly when I start, then suddenly, you have, this is what you do to someone you call as a speaker. I can think about a million things. But I will just feel, okay, thank you, Swami. Maybe you didn't want me to go there. Maybe it's best for me to just sit in Gokulam, be with my parents. They have come anyway. I'll spend more time with them. That's it. Otherwise, I'll think, how can next time Vishwas comes, I don't want to look at his face, man. This is what he does. He does to me. I can feel, I can feel 100 emotions can come into me. But I will not. I will not do that. Because what I've seen in life is the moment you have these negative feelings, the negative recoils. All the negativity recoils. Every time, and actually, frankly, I can see in my life, now it sort of keeps coming back. Whenever something happens, I can actually map it. You know what? This is what I had done 5 years ago. This is coming back. This is coming back. And now it's becoming so clear. Some days I get very scared. Something I've done today, and I know something's definitely going to go wrong today. It has become like that for me. I just know that everything is just coming back. Be careful, man. Don't think anything negative. Everything you do is just going to come back. The universe is not random. Universe cannot be random. It is such a fine-tuned, perfectly synchronized, most efficient mechanism that God himself has set it to motion. We don't have to do anything. The people who say there is no God, you know what their ideology of a whole universe and creation happens is, it's like imagine a heap of metal, it's just there, and suddenly a tornado came and it took this heap of metal and it just organized this metal and suddenly it became a Boeing 747 plane. What's the probability of a heap of metal becoming a Boeing 747? That is how foolish it is to think that there is no order. Everything is happening as per it should happen. You think what you have to do. You think how you can not be negative. You think how you can make a contribution. Okay, I think I'll go to the next question. So does that answer? Why faith is on and off? How to have firm faith in Swami and in self? Why we fear even when Swami is with us? When fear strikes, then at that time no sadhana seems to work. When it comes to faith, it is digital. Either you have it or you don't have it. It's, all these, I have little faith, I have 10% faith, I have 20% faith. That is when, you are neither here nor there. You fall, you're neither on this stool nor on the other stool, you fall in between actually. When you say you have faith, you either have it or you don't have it. If we take that kind of an approach, that is when we will see the glory of faith. I was talking to one Mr. Vimalanathan. Very interestingly, I met him recently. I was doing a story on Vrindavan, and he was one person who was involved in the construction of Trai Vrindavan way back in 1984. It's a long story. He came to Swami in the 60s, and he was so enraptured with Bhagwan, and his wife became so madly in love with Swami. Their wife didn't want to leave Prashantilam. Swami, in fact, used to call his wife Pichi. Pichi means mad. She just wants to be in Swami, be with Swami only, be in Prashantilam. She didn't want to. And this Vimalanathan was working in a very prestigious multinational company. He comes from a very well-to-do family and all that. They had everything that, material world can give. But wife was pitchy for Swami, and then he said, what am I doing here? I'll also go and settle down in Prashanti. So for 10 years he was asking Swami, please allow me to quit my job, I'll come and stay in Parthi. Swami, no. So it was going on for 10 years, Swami was not giving him that chance. And Swami was doing all this drama. Swami will call Vimalanathan's parents and for the interview, and Swami will say, see, look at this fellow, he's telling he will leave everything and settle down in Prashanti Nilayam. I have told him he should not do this. What do you say? And the parents will say, Swami, they are your children, Swami, whatever you want, you do, Swami, we have nothing to do with, no connection, Swami, they are yours, you do whatever. Oh, Atlana. Then Swami will call the wives. Mrs. Vimalanathan's parents, Swami will call, your wife, Pichi, full time she's here, she's telling her husband to quit the job, I'm telling her not to do this, they're not listening to me. And the wife's parent, Swami, you are only our everything, Swami. What is that life without you, Swami? We have nothing on this, Swami. Whatever you want, you do, Swami. So that whole thing was going on. Swami was making sure that everybody is okay and all that, buying in. And then finally in 79, Swami gives him the job. Yes, okay, you quit the job. And he comes to Vrindavan. With Swami, pehle mohabbat. After that, kasrat starts actually. I think in life also the same. So then the kasrat started. So then he left the job, everything, and he came to Vrindavan. Now Swami is not looking. Swami is not giving any job. Hurry. I left everything and came here. 10 years I've been praying for you. Now he talks, but the moment he'll ask for a job, he will just evade. We will ask breakfast, lunch, dinner and all that. That's all. So that was going on like for two and a half years. Swami is not. Now it became very difficult for him actually. Even sustenance. Whatever savings was there is getting over. And now he thought, okay, should I take up a job? What should I do? And and you know how the world will talk. I mean, the most foolish thing you can ever do. He was some late 20s, you know, just early 31 or 32 he was, and you know, he was also become pitchy for Swami. And I mean, which fellow will do this? 30, 31, you are married. I think they had 1 or 2 kids also. Leave everything, come and tell Swami, I will, no job, nothing. And that too, Parthi, that time nothing was there. But Swami was also not giving any job, and then he was thinking, should I go and take up some job? And you know, all this. Only good thing was the parents didn't interfere. It will find you and your Swami here, you do what you want, don't involve us. So the other people, of course, you know, they had their own very beautiful tales to spin, to spend their time. So this was going on, and then suddenly in 1983, Swami calls him, and Swami gives him the job of demolishing the Trey Vrindavan, the old Vrindavan, the old bungalow. Vrindavan earlier had a different bungalow, Swami's residence, the old bungalow. So he had that job, and then he was involved in the construction of Trey Vrindavan, and etc., etc. After that, life became very easy, and but he would never take anything from Swami. Just even till this day, he lives in Prashanti Nilayam. The reason I'm mentioning this is he had that faith that Swami will take care. So after a few years, you know, one thing that he had done, perhaps worldly wise, not a wise decision, is he had taken all his savings and put it in one fund. He said some Nidhi fund. So he had put everything in that. And one fine day, he hears this news that that fund has gone bankrupt. Completely. Everything is gone. I mean, he has not received a paycheck for now 15, 20 years. Everything that he had put, with that bharose only he was living, that also is gone. Never wanted to take any single rupee from Swami. Now what to do? How to live? Didn't want to tell anyone. Husband and wife decided we will not tell anyone. It's okay. We came here, Swami bharose, we will leave it, whatever he wants. They didn't tell anyone. Didn't tell Swami also. How can you go and tell Swami, Swami, give money? Very, very difficult to do actually. So thinking what to do. So what had happened was his father also had put some money in that fund. So father knew that son also would have incurred some loss. So the father called up and said, you know what, Vimal, I know you also would have money. So do one thing, in Hyderabad I have this little plot of land. You go to Hyderabad and you sell that land, okay? And you manage with resources that you get from that. But he was not very keen because, you know, he had lost like in lakhs of rupees, and here that land probably will give some 6,000 rupees. It is a very, I mean, it is in an area where there is no demand, there is no water, there is no power, nobody will want a land in that area. Just some piece of land, you know, which was bought, not much of functional use. So, but since father is saying, he said, okay, no, I should respect my father's word. So he went to Hyderabad, husband and wife, they went to Hyderabad. And the next day they went to this plot of land and went to that area, and just when they were inspecting that place, suddenly one person came and he said, this land belongs to you? He said, yeah. Do you want to sell this land? I said, yeah. He said, yeah. Okay, how much do you want to give it for? He said, actually I have no idea. How much do you want to buy it for? So he said, I want to buy this for this many lakhs, this many thousands, and this much rupees. I said, are you sure? I mean, I'm talking about this plot of land. I mean, you want to buy it for this many lakhs and this many thousand rupees? I said, yeah. Why, you have any problem? No. I don't have any problem. So before anything happens, no, he immediately signed the deal and he came off. And he says, the exact amount of money that he had lost in the Nidhi funds, no, that same amount of money plus his traveling charges to Hyderabad was covered in that. With little faith, heaven will come to you, but with great faith, you will go to heaven. Great faith, you have no idea what great faith can do actually. I think all of us have experienced it in little ways, but I think the people who are all the time joyous are people who experience that power of great faith. Because they know, arey yaar, we always say no, oh God, I have a problem. So instead you will say, oh problem, I have a God, man, I have a big God. Oh God, I have a big problem. Oh problem, I have a big God. I will never be a beggar. I will not go. I am a Sai devotee. I have Swami with me. I am following Bhagwan. I have him as my guide, my guru, my God. I will never put my hand out and ask for someone's affection. I will not ask for someone's money. I will not ask for someone's resources. I will not ask for someone's help. I will never stretch my hand out. I will never be a beggar. I am bigger because I have the biggest God, the biggest avatar, the most powerful force of the universe with me. He can do things just like that. Why should I ever go to anyone? I think if we have that kind of confidence, life will just become a celebration. Does that answer the question? How to overcome fear? Fear of suffering, even fear of Swami. We know fear is wrong, yet it is not helping us. We know faith and surrenders are the answers, but we are still struggling. Fear, F-E-A-R. The moment we think, oh, I'm getting afraid, I have fear, we should say F-E-A-R. Face everything and rise. Whatever happens, face everything and rise. And I will rise because Swami is with me. Not because I am someone great, not because I have a great talent, not because I am a great software developer, not because I am a great doctor. I can do it because He is with me. That self-confidence. See, the self-confidence that we have with ourselves, like the previous speaker was mentioning, if you believe in your potentials, yes, that is fantastic, that is great. I would say that is the first level of self-confidence. You give respect to whatever you are blessed with, whatever talents, whatever knowledge, whatever wisdom, whatever goodness parents have given us. You trust that and build on that. That is one level of self-confidence. But I feel, if you are constantly going on that, that's great, you will achieve great things, but there will definitely come a time when you will feel a vacuum. You will feel some emptiness. You will feel, how could this happen? I mean, I have done everything in my ability. As a doctor, everything that I could have done, I have done. I am the best doctor in Bangalore. Yeah? Even I couldn't say, I can't imagine how this could go. But there will be times. So I think self-confidence at that point in time, it's better we cultivate that from now itself. By self-confidence, we don't mean confidence in our little self. By self-confidence, we mean confidence in the big S, that is Sai. If you have confidence in His power, His mercy, His love, things will just work out. We'll never have any fear. And why should we fear? In the sense, okay, if you have done something wrong, it is okay. You know what, when doctor asked Swami, how many mistakes of ours will you forgive? I mean, like, what is the upper limit? Like we know in Shishupala Mahabharata, you said 100. Century ho gaya, Sudarshana Chakra. So when is our Sudarshana Chakra? I mean, what is our limit, So it's like, when is the time when you think this is a useless case, man, hopeless. So Swami said that I will forgive as many mistakes as you commit. As many mistakes as you commit. Provided you realize, provided you repent, provided it is a non-repeating repentance. I will, because, our connection with Him is not just this life. No, our mother and parents have given birth to us. Our connection is 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. But with Swami, our connection, He can never leave us. Whether He likes it or not, He cannot leave us. So it is like He has no choice. He will just do it. It is just that if you are more aware, you tap into that. That's all. So even if you have done the grossest of things, you can just go to him. I feel the only person who will forgive and who has the ability to forgive. Other people say, I forgive, but what powers do they have? What forgive? What forgive? They'll say, I forgive, but they'll keep having that hatred in them, that will keep bothering, that will keep, they will keep eating, it will keep eating them from inside, it will keep eating us from outside, it goes on. The only person who can actually forgive is he. And why should? When we do a small mistake and we just go and cry in front of your mom is happy to, forget it. And when Swami says he is the love of 1,000 mothers, do we ever have even a clue of how compassionate? Even the very fact that we are sitting here, very fact that he gave us a chance to be a part of this, very fact that he's given a chance to know him, love him, and in spite of what we had done and in spite of what we continue to do after knowing him. The very fact that, he's still loving us, the very fact that, he still wants to bless us, he's still, in spite of committing so many mistakes, he said, no, still my door is open, my door is open, my door is open. You just open your eyes. No, don't look down here, don't look down, open your eyes, look up and smile and I will lift you. I'm waiting to lift you. I think when you have a Lord like that, there's nothing to fear. If you have anything, go talk to him, tell him, shed those two. Don't shed that tear in front of your friend. Go and shed that tear in front of the best friend. They say that when we are with Bhagwan, that is our sweetest moment, because we are with a person who is the most loved one of our lives. He is the one who will love us unconditionally. He is the only one who can love us through and through, much more than we know ourselves. He knows us. So just go to him. And what I have seen is, just go and just cry. Offer yourself. And Swami, he will just melt. How many times physically we have seen that? Physically, one bhajan and that's all. Full 1 month of treatment is forgotten. 1 month he would not have spoken to us, he would not have done all these things, I remember once Swami was so upset with the boys that, he would not even, it was funny. Swami will not, he will come up before darshans. We will come, 3 o'clock for darshans. 3 to 45, how in the hostel we rush after the evening, you wait for the classes to finish and rush to the mandir. Because Swami, you never know the time, every time you have to be half an hour before, sometimes he'll come 1 hour before. So every time the classes are over, rush to the hostel, just have a face wash and run to mandir, and he has come. You want to be there because once he comes, he'll take off people for interview and then he'll sit inside the interview room, you won't get the chance. So it happened like Swami was avoiding. So Swami was timing how much ever early we try to come, he will come even before that. And he would go and he would just look down. He would look down and he will go into the interview room. He will not by mistake also cast his eye on anyone, it was like that. And it was going for days and days. Even bhajan starts. Okay, now at least bhajan time Swami is coming. Bhajan also. He will come out of the interview room. He will look down. He'll look down, and he'll sit in the interview for the throne for bhajans. Close his eyes. He'll become full. Now bhava samadhi he will go to. Then the arti, the footstool has to be moved. He'll just move his leg. He will look down. Then like that he will look down, and he'll go. After the arti, he will come out. In fact, Anil Kumar sir took that opportunity once and told Swami, he had the guts. He said, Swami, this is Adbhutam, Swami. Enti? Swami, in the Narsimha avatar, Swami, you came out of the pillar, Swami, but in this avatar, you're going into the pillar, Swami. Full inside. That is only wall, you can't go inside further. So, that is how, Bhagwan, when he treats, but the same Bhagwan, after that you sit there and you cry, Humko tumse pyar kitna. Swami, I'm not like that. Mistakes happen, that's all. Don't you know that I love you? Sai tum hi jante. You know how much I have really loved you. दिलों की धड़कन तुम हो साई. truly, Swami, you alone understand me, Swami. You are my life. All these people, they say different things, Swami, but when it comes to brass tacks, their true colors come out. दिलों की धड़कन तुम हो साई, तुम हमारे प्राण हो, हमको तुमसे प्यार है, we love you, dear sir, we love you. So I think never ever we should have that fear. One thing that I've seen with Swami also, physically, is Swami, he's just reaction, reflection, resound. Like today I'm sitting in Mandir, and I feel I have done something wrong. And that thing will be there within me, I have done something wrong. And you will see, Swami will react like that only. Swami is just witness. Physically I have seen that any number of times. He just reaction, reflection, resound. You go pretend in front of him, he will also pretend. So, you be genuine. The only person with whom we should be genuine. If you are not genuine with him, you are foolish. He's the guy who knows everything, man. Even before you thought the thought, he knows what you're going to think. So, just be genuine with him. And if you go with that mindset to Swami, he will just respond. Because he's just reaction, reflection, resound. That's it. Go with purity. You'll be blessed with sublimity. I've done only 4 questions. Time is running out. So, okay, how can we define personal sadhana for current youth? In this hectic world where thirst for money made man a slave to the clock, how significant is personal sadhana? Now, when it comes to personal sadhana, I don't want to say, you have to do 21 times Gayatri, you have to do Nagar Sankirtan, you have to do this, you have to go to the temple, or you have to, ensure that you come every day for Seva. As I told you before, it's not really important what you do. It's very, very important how you do what you're doing. Even if you do one service activity per month, it's okay. You're not... See, Sathya Sai organization is not an organization which is here to solve the problem of poverty in the world. If we just do an R and Seva for people, we are not solving the problems of poverty of the world. If we educate a few children, we are not solving the problem of illiteracy of the world. We are not... Sathya Sai organization is a spiritual organization. It is only meant to remake you. Whatever opportunity that is given is only so that it helps to make you a better person. That's all. So, here quantity does not matter at all. See, if Swami wanted, when he built one hospital, he could have built 10 hospitals. Yeah, he could have built 20 hospitals. Was it difficult? If Swami would have made that announcement, just like once when he made the announcement, suddenly resources poured in and one hospital came up. He decided to do one more, he just said, and it just happened in 1 year. If Swami had decided that every year I'll make an announcement, money is come. There is enough and more money in the world. There is so much money in the world. People don't know how to spend their money actually. Especially among the rich. People are corporates are looking for organizations where they can put their CSR money so that it will be effectively utilized. You're looking for NGOs who will utilize the money properly. So there is so much resource. If Swami wanted, Swami could have done that. But that was not the goal. No? That was not the goal. Swami, after having set up this hospital, at least is it inspiring you to know that selflessness is a higher virtue than selfishness? Is it inspiring you to know that when you think only about your joy, that's a very, very little, that's a very, very rudimentary level of joy. When you can do something for someone, that is anandam, that Is it giving you that perspective? Is it making your heart beat? If the heart just beats like a mechanical device, that is not a heart. It's just an efficient lump of flesh. Only if it beats for others, then it's a heart. Hrud plus daya. Only if daya is there, you can call it a heart. जीना उसका जीना है जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुवन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है. That's what, when Swami left, he went, he told, please understand this at least now. All 85 years I've spent my life trying to tell you only this, that you have to learn to love, and love is selflessness. Love is not thinking only about me, my family. So, I feel, so what is the sadhana for the youth? So, you decide what you want to do as you're offering to Swami, but do it with love. Y-O-U-T-H. I felt why? Why probably can be yearn. You have to yearn to earn the grace of the Lord. The grace of the Lord is always there, but once you yearn, you can experience it. That yearning. See, what did Swami do in Swami's educational institutions? The moment you join Bhagwan's school or college, what happens is that you are in an environment where continuously you are doing things to please Swami. We have to do a sports meet, no, Swami will be happy. We'll do a card, Swami will be happy. I want to sing bhajan, Swami will be happy. I want to do Vedam, Swami will be happy. No, Krishnashtami, we'll get the cows, Swami will be happy. No, this Prime Minister is coming, let's do a drama, Swami will be happy. Constantly I'm thinking, what can I do for Swami? 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 What can I do for my Swami? So I yearn. That yearning, I think that should characterize youth. That yearning to belong to him, yearning to be his asset, yearning, let him say like a proud mother, he's my child. This boy, I have created him. Look at him. This is what he will do if a situation of this nature comes. So I think yearning is what is most important. Oh, optimistic. Whatever happens in life, just say, Swami, that is your will. Be positive. I think most of the time what happens, in the cities, you have like 30-40% of the people constantly in depression. And I feel, if after having known Swami, after having being a Sai youth, if you are depressed, if you are sorrowful, it's an insult to Bhagwan actually. It's an insult to Swami. If you say, I am depressed, why should you be depressed? Whatever has happened, it has happened for your good, man. Understand that. Nothing will happen. He loves you. He loves you more than you can ever imagine. If that thing has happened, maybe you have done something, it has come, but now take that corrective action. That is good for you. That is good for you to grow. No experience comes to break you. Every experience comes to make you, remake you, build you. That is what Bhagwan is constantly doing. So whatever happened, I was supposed to go to US. They had fixed some 7 states I was supposed to give talks and all that 2 years ago, and I went for visa. My visa was rejected, and for whatever reason it was rejected, and they were so unhappy, etc., etc. And I said, okay, fine, Swami. I mean, so much of planning, everything, I don't know, fine. Then they told me, you apply again. The same year, I applied again. Again it was rejected. I said, okay, thank you, Swami. Fantastic. This is what you want? Probably, this is the best thing that could have happened to me. Probably. This is not, Modi was not allowed to go to the US some time ago. Now the US puts a red carpet for him. If you don't want it, fine, Swami. Then I thought, okay, so I could have spent that next 2 months, just, Swami, I'm serving in radio, Swami, I'm doing your work and all that, and how much, and after all this, this is what you do to me, Swami, it's a nice chance for me, I could have gone this, that, and what will they think of me, what will others think of me, God does not like this fellow. It's like, anything people will think, but I said, okay, Swami, if that is what, I didn't spend the next 2 months, complaining and no, this is not. I said, okay, fine. Now I have got time. Anyway, I had done my programs, I had done a lot of pre-work, because I had to go. So I have good amount of time now. Yeah, let's do something. I said, okay, let's do something for my parents. And suddenly, one of my mother's friends calls up my mother and says, Kumbh Mela is happening in Ujjain. And my mother heard all that story of Kumbh Mela happening in Ujjain. And then Bhagwan was there, my parents would never go anywhere. All our vacations, everything was in Parthi only, because when Swami's physical form was there, we never went anywhere. And now my mother said, you know what, it was always my desire to go to Ujjain. It happens once in 12 years. And I told, okay, mom, let's do it. We'll go to Ujjain. So we went to Ujjain. 12 years dream of my mother was fulfilled. My parents are maha thrilled. My mother is seeing such an Ujjain. I mean, I feel the whole of humanity has exploded in Ujjain. The amount of crowd there, I don't know how many crores of people were there, and I know, and so many akhadas, gurus, etc., etc. But it was really mind-boggling. But I felt maybe that is the biggest gift. I don't know, maybe my parents would have been able to travel, after 2-3 years down the line. Can they go to Ujjain again? It'll happen again once in 12 years. I don't know. It'll happen. It's okay. US, kabhi bhi jayenge yaar. Usme kya? I'll go anytime. But if I had felt, no, mom, just don't irritate me. I'm in a very bad mood. US thing, I'm just leave me. I don't want to do anything. I could have just been in that frame of mind also. But what I have felt is, every time life puts you down, just look up. And I feel, if you look up, you will see so many opportunities actually. What is happening is, you put down, we look down. Feel gaya yaar, sab kuch gaya. Itna sab kuch kiya and sab gaya yaar. Then life also is like, God also is like helpless. Arey yaar, bahut darwaja khule yaar. At least lift your head, no? Then you can see. So I think that is optimistic. You unite. I feel whatever we do, let's try to take people together. I can individually achieve, If I walk alone, I can walk probably faster. But if I walk together, then I can walk longer. And it'll be more enjoyable. It'll be more interesting. I have such lovely memories if I walk together. So I think every youth should try and see how we can walk together. Kalasi malasi perugudam, kalasi malasi tirugudam, kalasi malasi telisukunna telivini poshinchudam. So I think that should be our thing. Whatever we do, let's do it together, yaar. Individually, I can lead, I can do it. But let's see how together we can do. Truth. I think the only truth of life that we should always remember is, He is the only best friend that we have. And the second truth is, everything in the world outside changes and will continue to change. Don't try to look for permanent joy in a changing environment. Enjoy everything. Enjoy everything that the world has to give you, but be conscious that this is Khanika Shukam only. This will give you this much joy only. Don't expect too much. When you expect too much only, then only disappointments and all that happens. Just know that, we'll eat the ice cream. Ice cream will give this much joy only. 0.00001% only ice cream can give joy. You will expect ice cream will give me some 30% joy, and then you'll, what is this here? Ice cream didn't give me that joy. And next time, first time when you eat ice cream, it will give you 0.001% joy. Next time when you eat ice cream, it will give you 0.00001% joy actually. But once you love Swami, first time if you get 20%, next time you will get 25%, next time you will get 40%, next time you will get 60% actually. So we can do whatever you want, just have that thing sorted out in your mind, that's all. And humility. I mean, that's what I was saying. Be humble, just say that whatever I'm doing, Swami, it's because of you. I on my own, I'm too small a person to even think, Swami. If I'm able to think, it is only because of you. If I'm able to do anything, if I could come here today and talk, it is only because of you. If you wanted, anything could have happened. The car could have broken, the driver would have slept off, anything could have happened. I could have had an accident, anything could have happened. We don't think, suddenly we think, I came and I give a talk, fantastic man, I just floored the people. Nonsense, because, anything could have happened and you could have not done this. Suddenly I would have woken up with a bad throat, How many things do we really have control on in our life? So I think that whole humility thing is very, very important, and that keeps us very, very grounded. If you look at all the life stories for the top CEOs, I was reading an article about the top CEOs, especially the Indian CEOs. There are a lot of talk about Indian CEOs in the Silicon Valley and in the US, with so many people in Google and Microsoft and everywhere being Indians. And when they analyzed what is the trait among them that has made them what they are today. So one of the traits that came out very strongly was their humility. And that humility was because of the Indian culture, was because of that family, that bonding. You always felt you're not an individual. You always felt you're part of a community. You felt part of a society. That whole and that humility to learn. You never felt that, look, I know everything, and how can this boss, a subordinate tell me? These are CEOs who welcomed anything from anywhere, any suggestions. So that is the reason why they have grown. They were not aggressive like the Westerners are, but they were very grounded and smart. They're very grounded in their values. So I think that is what probably YOUTH could stand for. That could be any number of meanings, but I just tried to give it a framework for you to remember. Yearn for Bhagwan. O, always be optimistic. Whatever happens is for good. U, always do it together. Unity. T, remember the truth. He is the only truth. H, be humble. Jai Sai Ram. I gave myself to you, oh Sai. I gave myself to you, so you can use me. Here I am, here I stand. Lord, my life is in your hand. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I place them in your hand. I give myself to you, oh Sai. I give myself to you, so you can use me, so you can use me. Thank you. Really grateful to Bhagwan for giving this chance to be with all of you. Never thought there'll be so much of energy, so much of participation. And thanks to each one of you for your love, for your patient listening. Thank you so much. Saram.
Thank you so much, Brother Bishu. That was absolutely thrilling. I mean, wonderfully, how beautifully Brother Bishu gave us Swami's message. Just to summarize, duty without love is deplorable. Duty with love is desirable. Love without duty is divine. Well, every time you want to do something, just ask yourself, am I doing every act with love? And Swami says, we can uplift others by giving them just a little lift. And the definition of fear, face everything and rise. Every time a problem comes, instead of saying, oh God, I have a problem, say, oh problem, I have God. And of course, the definition of youth, wonderfully given by Brother, yearn, be optimistic, unite, stay united, be truthful, and humility as well. Thank you so much. I now request Professor N.S. Nagaraj, ex-professor of Swami's Institute, to kindly felicitate Brother Bishu.